You just passed away, like,
Oh.
right? I know.
Oh, right.
You can try to call me,
Can,
but I don't, I'm
No, can I-
probably gonna tell you to be.
can I do the, can I give it like the top?
Yeah, you're
on
on
everything? Okay. Good afternoon. This is the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar for, if I could remember today's date, we are January the 28th, 2025. The course orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. Additionally, I'd like to remind you. Oh, I'm sorry.
One moment, Your Honor. Or I don't know
Yes.
if you want me to make the announcement or not. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you know what? I would actually appreciate it. I just forgot that you were on the phone line.
Yeah. Buenas tardes. Este es el calendario de la comparecencia inicial del día de hoy, 28 de enero del 2025, de las 2 de la tarde. Las órdenes emitidas el día 1 del mes con respecto a la toma de huellas dactilares y muestra de ADN aplica en todos los casos.
I'd also just like to remind you that you do have the right to remain silent. So you should think carefully before making any statements about what happened or what you are accused of.
También deben de recordar que tienen el derecho de permanecer en silencio, así de que tienen que pensar con cuidado si dicen algo acerca de lo que pasó.
Also, most of you will have written release conditions on your paperwork.
También la mayoría de ustedes recibirá condiciones para su puesta en libertad que estarán por escrito.
I will not be reading every condition to you during the hearing.
No les voy a leer toda la información a ustedes durante las audiencias.
However, you are ordered to comply with each and every one of your written conditions.
Sin embargo, se les ordena cumplir con todas y cada una de sus condiciones.
So be sure to read them carefully.
Así de que asegúrense que las leen con cuidado.
Also, everybody who's on probation.
También para todos los que tienen régimen probatorio.
You will have a condition that says to contact your probation officer within 72 hours if you are released.
Ustedes tendrán una condición que indicará que deben de contactar a su agente de probatorio en las primeras 72 horas si es que quedan en libertad.
Thank you. And I'm just having some trouble getting onto the computer, so as soon as I get on the computer, then we can start.
Gracias. Tan pronto como pueda entrar a mi computadora, comenzamos.
And I appreciate your tolerance.
Gracias por su paciencia.
Do you think I could try again now? Or do you think it's got me enough time? You can try it. I know. I'm just like saying over there, saying another 10 minutes from now. That's the only thing. I'm going to try. I know I have the right email. I mean, I know I have the right password. At least I think I do. Oh, I can't tell. Is there a way to tell? Dang it. Maybe it is on. I just can't tell.
If you get it, the light should come on or off.
There's no light. No, I understand where the caps lock is.
I know, but once you type in the password, it'll tell you if it's on or not, if you can use cap lock.
Like here, like, see, like here, I'm just trying to, here, like I'm clicking on the shift to actually do a cap, but it's not doing it. So then I just want to select regular number. So I don't think I'm caps, right? Okay. But it's not. I think we're going to have to call police. Call one of these.
I need to get up and do something for like 5 minutes. I'm not gonna
That sounds fine.
log off. So I'll be right back. Thank you.
I would appreciate it, yeah. Thank you so much. Please come back. Dang it. If I could have gone, I should have gone on to this sooner. I would have. Hello? I thought it was rain. Maybe I entered too quickly. Do I have to press the button? No. I have never had problems getting into this computer. It's like, I'm the problem. Darn it.
Let me try dialing you back in.
Hello? Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Sure, it's Teresa, Teresa. Oh, and I'm So apparently, I just had to change the other one, not this one.
The interpreter is back, Your Honor.
Oh, great, perfect timing. I'm getting onto the computer. Just need to do the bench view. Okay, and then you're here for number 15, is that correct? Is she on that one? Oh, terrific, okay. Then if we could take Gabriel Martinez at the podium, and could Ramon Flores please go to the chair outside the door.
Señor Gabriel Martínez, pase al podium.
Oh, oh, yes, one needs 11 signs. Okay. Well, let me just quickly do that. Fine. Back to 15. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, could you please state your full name?
Dígame su nombre completo.
Gabriel Martínez.
Okay, and your date of birth?
Gabriel Martínez Martínez. ¿Y su fecha de nacimiento?
1993.
1993. July 9.
Okay, so it's 1993?
¿Es del 93?
92.
92.
Oh, okay. And you are being charged with 1 count of possessing or using a narcotic drug as a class 4 felony,
Tiene
and
un
1
punto
count
acusatorio de posesión o uso de droga narcótica, delito categoría 4.
and 1 count of possessing or using a drug paraphernalia as a class 6 felony,
Un punto acusatorio de posesión o uso de artículos de droga, delito categoría 6.
I find that there is probable cause for those charges,
Determino que existe motivo fundado en esas acusaciones.
I am appointing the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Le voy a asignar un defensor público del condado Maricopa para que lo represente.
You have a status conference set on February the 12th at 8:30 a.m.
Tiene una audiencia de actualización el día 12 de febrero a las 8:30 de la mañana.
and a preliminary hearing set on the February the 14th at 8:30 a.m.
Y una audiencia preliminar el 14 de febrero a las 8:30 de la mañana.
I'm going to be releasing you on your own recognizance.
Ordenaré que quede en libertad bajo caución juratoria.
That means I'm releasing you on your promise to appear for court. Okay?
Eso significa que lo dejo en libertad y usted promete presentarse a sus audiencias. ¿Está bien?
So be
Okay.
sure to show
Okay.
up to court,
Así de que preséntese a sus audiencias.
because you will not get that opportunity again to just be able to come back on that OR. Okay?
Porque no tendrá la oportunidad de salir bajo juratoria la próxima vez. ¿Está bien?
Ok, está bien. Muchas gracias.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you'll get the paperwork, and be sure to show up at it's 175 West Patterson Street. The information is on your paperwork.
Asegúrese que se presenta. La dirección es 175 West Madison. Estará incluida en sus documentos.
And there is the information also is in Spanish, correct?
Y la información también está en español.
Detention officer, I believe there is information. It is in Spanish as well, correct? I think on the other side.
Only in English.
Only in English?
Oh, here it is.
The other side is also Spanish. Okay, great. Okay,
Muy
thank
bien.
you. So just go through that,
Gracias.
you'll get
Sí,
that.
gracias.
Thank you. Your Honor,
And
would
thank
you like
you.
me to make an announcement?
Yes, I very much appreciate it.
Sure. ¿Hay alguien más que necesite intérprete en español? Si es así, levanten la mano. Any hands?
Okay, great. Then thank you. You definitely may hang up. So I appreciate
Thank
it
you.
again.
Sure.
All right. So then, if we could take Raymond Flores to the podium and Stefana Greer to the chair. Hello. Okay, now, sir, you have two cases before us today, number 28 and number 29. Let's get your name first. What's your name, your full name?
Ramon Christopher Flores.
I'm sorry, what?
Ramon Christopher Flores.
Okay, I have Raymond Christopher Flores. Would that be a name that you're also known as?
Yeah.
And your date of birth?
4792.
All right. Now I have, as I said, I have two warrants for violating your probation. Let me go back to number 28 on your docket. As I stated, you have a warrant for violating your probation. I will be appointing the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office to represent you. It looks as though you might have counsel, but just to be on the safe side, I'll make sure that you have counsel. You have a probation revocation arraignment with a possible disposition hearing set on February the 4th at 8:30 a.m. Now, in this case, you are being held without bond. It was already a warrant for that matter, so I'm just affirming that bond. On your other case, that was not set forth that way, so I am just also affirming the bond in that, which was in the amount for $750. But let me just confirm again your name as is it Raymond or Ramon?
Ramon.
Ramon Christopher Flores, correct? Date of birth April 7th, 1992. And again, a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointing counsel. You have a probation revocation arraignment with a possible disposition hearing set for the same date and time, February the 4th at 8:30 a.m. And you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750 in this case. You obviously do not want to make bond in this case since you're going to be held without bond on the other one for this time period. Okay? All right, so you just go to the left, you'll get your paperwork. Stefana Greer, please go to the podium. Jalon Coleman, please go to the chair. And Stefana, could I please have your full name?
Yes, Typhina Greer.
And yes, and that's
Typhina.
I'm sorry, maybe I didn't hear.
It's Typhina.
Typhina, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right. Typhina makes much more sense. It sounds prettier. So, okay. And then your date of birth?
2/14/95.
All right, and you have a new case. You are being charged with one count of robbery as a Class 4 felony. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. with a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I actually initially had a much higher bond set for you, which is why you're actually I have you set earlier. But the prosecutors, for some reason they were requesting just a $250 bond. So for some reason, they were just thinking that $250 would be appropriate. I'm going to follow their the request. They must have some reason why they thought that this was appropriate. So I'm just going to go with the request. Okay?
Okay.
So, like I said, I actually had a much higher bond set initially. Like when I was first thinking about this, I had a much higher bond in my head. So I'm going to actually follow the recommendation, though.
So I'm not being released?
No, you have a bond in the amount of $250, but I had a bond initially set in the thousands.
Okay.
So I'm reducing it to the $250.
Okay.
Okay? So, but if you go to the left, you'll get your paperwork. Could Jalone Coleman please go to the podium, and Lee Chavez go to the chair? Hello, could I please have your full name?
Jalen Devontae Coleman,
All right, and could I please have your date of birth?
March 3rd,
So 321?
yeah, sorry about
No,
that.
no, that's fine.
1996.
All right, so again, then it's 321, 1996?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just making sure. And I have a warrant for your probation, so you have a warrant for violating your probation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to appoint counsel to represent you. Although it seems like you might have existing counsel. It's just that sometimes, counsel, like from the time that you last had them, they might have, gotten another job. might left. So I want to make sure you have counsel. All right, so you have a probation revocation arraignment with a possible disposition hearing set for February the 4th at 8:30 a.m. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in this case. Let me just double check what's going on here. Because
Actually, I have no idea what's going on.
okay, well, actually, yes. I was just looking at that the bond amount is pretty high, but I'm actually just affirming the bond that was already set by the Honorable Rodney Mitchell. So it was set in the amount of $5,000. So I am affirming the bond that was already in place. Now you have a petition to revoke your probation. And that was placed on November the 20th, 24. I don't have everything else. Because I don't have the actual petition. Let's see. Oh, here. I can look it up. Basically, it looks like they have had trouble finding you. They've had trouble, like changed your residence, that you weren't at the same place, that they've so at this moment, that's fine. It's like something that you can work with them.
Mm-hmm.
They can see about getting you, whether or not they can reinstate you on probation or not. But at this moment, you have this bond amount on you. You can, of course, if you can make the bond, you can be released. There are some times where, and I have a couple today actually, where it's not able to get released. Okay, so at least you do have that opportunity. So you can just go to your left, you'll be able to get that paperwork. Lee Chavez, please go to the podium. Henri Matias, please go to the chair. Hello. Could you please state your full name?
Yes, my name is Leroy Chavez.
All right, and your date of birth?
5/26/76, and I apologize for my appearance, but I'm very sick today.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that you're sick, and you'd never have to worry about this. This is an initial appearance, and I'm just glad you're able to stand up, you're able to be in this courtroom, that I don't have to go to the cell to see you. So let's see. You are being charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault as a Class 3 felony and 1 count of possessing a weapon by prohibited person. I am finding that there is probable cause for these charges. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $15,000. Also, it was unsure of whether or not you live in the same residence as the alleged victim or victims. So
I do not. They are trespassed from there about 2 months ago.
okay, well, if you live, then it just goes to the basis that if you do live in the same residence as them, then you can't. But right now it just goes on there that if you may not reside in the same residence as them. So if you don't, then it doesn't matter. But my information in here is that if you get released, you cannot live in the same residence, you would have to move. But if you don't, then it doesn't matter, okay? So I'm not gonna have to change my order. All right, so just, the paperwork is to your left, okay? All right. That was the Omri Matias, please go to the podium. Raul Sainz Diaz, please go to the chair. Hello, sir. Could you please state your full name?
It's Omri Matias.
And your middle name is Uriel?
Oh, that's my middle
Right, your middle name. And your date of birth?
Date of birth is January 30th, 1997.
All right, and I have that you are being charged with 1 count of criminal trespassing in the first degree on a residential structure as a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal damage as a Class 2 misdemeanor. Oh, hold on, let me just double check. This is a you know what, I do need to edit this. I need to appoint counsel. I am appointing counsel to represent you. I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. Did I sign that? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm sending counsel to represent. Okay, hold on. I went over the charges. I'm finding that there is probable cause for these charges. I'm appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. You are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victims. The rest of the conditions will be on your paperwork. And they are getting the new paperwork because I had not appointed counsel, and I want to make sure you have counsel. Okay, so Raul Sainz Diaz, please go to the podium. Robert Leal, please go to the chair. Hello.
Hi.
Could you please state your full name?
Robert Leal?
Hold on. You are not the same person I have here. So what's your name?
Robert Leal?
Robert Leal. Oh, did I just deal with Raul Sainz Diaz?
Raul Sainz Diaz, right.
Okay, sir, you're supposed to be at the chair.
Raul Sainz Diaz. Wake up. Get up off the floor. Raul Sainz Diaz. What's over here?
And could you also pull down your hoodie and go to the podium?
Something time, something Diaz, like,
Do you need an interpreter?
no, I can.
Okay, do you understand me?
Yes.
Okay. Because we had an interpreter. Okay. All right. So could you please state your full name?
My last name?
No, your full name.
Okay, Raul Sainz Diaz.
Your date of birth, please.
May 8, 91.
All right. Now you are being charged with 1 count of burglary in the 2nd degree as a Class 3 felony and 1 count of robbery as a Class 4 felony. I did find that there is probable cause for these charges. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I am setting a secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $10,000. Okay? So you are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims. And all the rest of your release conditions will be on your paperwork.
Okay, so...
You have a bond in the amount of $10,000.
Yeah, I need to pay that, no?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can use a bonding company to help you pay, and if you get released, you need to make sure that you do not go back to that scene of the crime, and do not contact any victims.
No, okay, no, I don't have problem with that, yeah, okay, so I go out like normal and bring the money, figure out the thing, or how I can do that thing? It's because it's my first time here, so it's a little confused.
I'm just saying that you have a bond amount in the amount of $10,000, and so if you can make that $10,000 bond, then you can be released. And you can use a bonding company to help you.
Okay. Yeah,
All right?
I think I'm gonna use that, yeah.
Okay. So in the detention office can help give you more advice.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Robert Lill, please go to the podium. And Johnny Deaton, please go to the chair. Now you match the picture. Okay. All right. So could you please state your name?
Robert Leo,
And your date of birth?
8/11/1976.
All right. And you are being charged with one count of possessing drugs, dangerous drugs for sale as a Class 2 felony, one count of possessing or using dangerous drug as a Class 4 felony, and one count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 1 misdemeanor. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $7,500. Okay, so if you just go to the left, you'll get your paperwork. Johnny Gayton, please go to the podium. And Michael Green, please go to the chair. Hello, sir. Could you please state your full name?
Johnny Gaitan?
And your middle name is Salvador?
Yes.
And your date of birth?
10/6/64.
All right. Now, let me just double check. You are being charged with one count of trafficking and stolen property in the first degree as a Class 2 felony, and one count of burglary in the third degree with unlawful entry as a Class 4 felony. I did find that there is probable cause for these charges. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I am setting a secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $2,500. You also have another case, and that is a warrant for violating probation. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation and revocation arraignment with a possible disposition hearing set on February the 4th at 8:30 a.m. You have a secured appearance bond in that case in the amount of $100. If you do, as I stated in the beginning of this morning, if you do get released, be sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay? You can go to the left and you can get your paperwork. Yes, good stuff. Michael Green, please go to the podium. Manuel Ramirez, please go to the chair.
Good afternoon.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the greeting. All right, so could you please state your name?
Michael Adam Green.
All right, and I only have a Michael A. Green, but you're going to go to the Justice Court, so you can just, if they only have your middle initial, you can make sure that they get that corrected later.
Sure.
Your date of birth?
6/5/1986.
All right, and I have that correct on here. I have that this is a warrant at Justice Court, at a Dreamy Draw Justice Court. It's for issuing a bad check, and, I wish I'd gotten my information I had. Okay, so I'm just affirming the warrant that was already in place. It is a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. So if you can...
And Your Honor, this has been going on now about two years,
Yeah.
I believe. I
Yeah, it
used to
looks
own
like you've failed to appear 4 times, though.
Yeah,
So I can't
I've paid bonds every single time, and so I'm paid more than the amount of what I actually owe. And I set up a payment plan about a month ago, and then got ill. So I went to court on my own and showed up to get on the calendar and spoke to a judge, and he put me on a payment plan. And I just didn't fulfill that payment plan because I got sick. So I'm willing to go and pay. I'd rather just pay the amount than pay the bond.
No, I can understand that.
So if you'd be so gracious as to let me do so, I would commit to doing that.
Well, the one thing is, at least it's a secured appearance bond, okay? Now, if it's a secured appearance bond, is that you can actually work with the bail bond person, and so then you only have to pay, like, generally about 10% up front, 10% to a bonding company, and like have, collateral of 1,000. But I don't feel comfortable changing this court's bond. It seems like you failed to appear several times.
I've been OR'd several times.
I'm not going to change the bond.
Okay.
But I do wish you well.
Thank you. So $100 bond?
Well, you got to work with the bonding company. I don't know what every bonding company does, but it's generally, like, my understanding is that it's usually like their fee is like 10%, and like you have to have collateral for the total amount of the bond.
Otherwise, it's $1,000 cash.
Right.
Okay.
But then just so you know, if when you get there, you can get your entire amount back. You can get, like, if you paid the whole cash.
I'm going to need the cash right now.
Okay, no, that's what I'm just saying. If you paid the cash bond, then they could actually take out the entire amount like that you owe at court, and you could get the rest of the money back. So yes, like when you go back so you can actually get the rest of your money back from the court.
The previous money from other.
Okay, I have no idea about that. I'm just saying that you can get, like, yes. So like, let's say that you owe money to the court. Yeah, let's get back.
Okay, I just want to.
I'm just telling you information. This is not legal advice. Okay.
Great, I appreciate it.
So just that whenever you have a bond.
Okay.
Like so, and then you go to court, you owe money to the court. They will take out whatever you owe. So like if you owe on other courts and other cases and whatever, like you owe, like let's say you have another case from them, but you owe that money to that court, they can take money to, that you owe them. But then if you have like a balance, then they can return that bond. So it's exoneration. They can, so as long as you keep showing up for court, they will exonerate your bond.
Okay, and that doesn't apply to the same case, previous bond amounts, or that just gets forfeited, period?
No, they will generally forfeit, like if they've already forfeited your bond, you can do a motion that they not forfeit that bond after all, but that's up to them. If they've already forfeited your bond, they will generally keep that forfeit.
They generally keep it.
But you can always do a motion that they reconsider forfeiting your bond, because let's say that you can then show proof that, hey, look, I was in the hospital, or
Right.
hey, look, I was sick, or hey, I was, let's say that you were like in an accident and you were in the hospital, I mean, they can take, they can always maybe reconsider their decision.
Okay, I was wondering because the amount I forwarded already is covering the cost of the bad check.
But
so I want to.
If you didn't show up for court, then they forfeit your bond, and there's a reason to forfeit your bond.
Right,
okay?
Understandable. Thank you.
All right. Okay, could I please have Manuel Ramirez please come to the podium, and Jesus Jimenez Campos, please go to the chair. Hello, and could you please state your full name?
Manuel Paul Ramirez.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Manuel Paul Ramirez.
All right, and your date of birth?
2/12/87.
All right, thank you. And I have a warrant. My attorney is here for a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation arraignment in a possible disposition hearing set on February the 4th at 8:30 a.m. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. I am affirming the prior court's orders. So if you just go to the left, so just get your paperwork. Oh, hold on, let me just double check. Oh, sir, I'm sorry, you have another case in this court.
Come on back.
Mr. Ramirez?
Ramirez?
Mr. Ramirez, I'm so sorry. You have another case out of, actually not out of this court, though. It's actually an out-of-county warrant. It's from Navajo County Superior Court.
Yeah, that's dropped. Cops already called and they called him this morning and talked to him and everything, and they couldn't find this.
Well, I know it actually initially was not on my calendar, but then it's on my calendar. So I have that they did find that there is apparently a warrant for $2,000. It's a secured appearance bond out of Navajo County Superior Court for $2,000. So they may not have initially found it because, like I said, it was not actually even initially on my calendar. But they did find a warrant for $2,000 secured appearance bond. It's secured, obviously, or cash. And so it's something that I have to order. So you just go to your left to get that paperwork as well.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's in with the paperwork that you have. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, though, because this is important. I'm sorry, sir. Just because, I mean, we were talking about the fact that you said it didn't exist. So let me go through the important parts of this. Because you just...
How does it... I don't understand how it switches when they input it in the computer this morning. Okay. They didn't put me into jail with that type of arrest.
Okay, and like I said, it was not in my calendar when I first got here. But I do see the warrant when I have it. Okay, so your name. I have your full name, which is on the same as the other case. I have that, and we just went over it, that it's Manuel Paul Ramirez, correct?
Yeah.
Date of birth, February the 12th, 1987, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that it's an out-of-county warrant from Navajo County Superior Court. That the charge is 1 count of DUI as a Class 1 misdemeanor. I can't appoint counsel in another jurisdiction, but you have an arraignment hearing set on February the 5th at 8:30 a.m. And there is that warrant. I saw it. And it is a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,000. All right, so yes, you do have paperwork for both cases, for our jurisdiction and their jurisdiction in your hands now. So now, yes, now your initial appearance has been done for this case as well. And I do apologize that you did not have that information earlier, which obviously, like I said, it was maybe found out later on after you'd been taken in.
So what does that mean? Where am I going to have the appearance, here or in Navajo?
Well, what happens is that Navajo is, they're aware that you're here, that you are supposed to be taken care of in our court first, but they can actually then transport you to their court if you're still in custody. Otherwise, if you bond out, you need to show up for their court. And if you need to basically go to both courts.
I guess.
Okay, Jesus Duenes Campos, please go to the podium. Adrian Gallego, please go to the chair. Hello.
Hola.
Could you please state your full name?
Jesus Armando Muñoz Campos.
And your date of birth?
March 21, 1973.
All right, and I have that you are being charged with 1 count of aggravated domestic violence as a Class 5 felony and 1 count of disobeying or resisting an order of a mandate of court as a Class 1 misdemeanor. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. I will tell you that the County Attorney's Office had actually sent a recommendation. They wanted actually a much higher bond for you, but I was actually reviewing the Form 4, and I saw that initially the alleged victim in the case was letting you be at the house to watch the dogs, and then she wanted you to leave, and then so I reduced it a lot. So because they wanted like a much higher bond. But I also do feel that there is a basis to have a bond amount. So that's why that is why I am setting a bond at the amount of $2,500. Okay? But you need to make absolutely sure that you abide by the order of protection. I understand that it may seem confusing when the alleged victim may say, hey, look, you can see me now. You can't see me now. You can see me now. Okay, but right now I will tell you, that order of protection is law. It is law, okay?
The order of protection is law.
You cannot have any contact. She does not get to say when it's in effect and when it's not in effect. It is the judge that gets to say so. So it is always in effect. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be quashed by a judge in order for you not to follow an order of protection.
That's what I was on vacation in Mexico. That's why she didn't remove it. And I went back to the house.
Again, I don't want you to talk about the case because whatever you say can be used against you. But I'm just letting you be aware, and I'm getting you counsel so that they can help you. They can represent your interests in the case. But I'm just letting you be aware that I'm still doing a secured appearance bond on you, okay? But that the state actually had wanted you to have a much higher bond. But I do want to make sure that you do not initiate contact with the alleged victims. In fact, you are to have no contact with the victims. Let me see what you know what? Oh, I did put down here, you must obey terms of the order of protection issued, which means no contact. Even though I put down not to initiate contact, it is actually, you must obey the order of protection issued, and that is to have no contact. Okay? So just go to the left and you'll get your paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Gallego, please go to the podium. Great, thank you, you already are. And could Joe Brummett please go to the chair? And sir, you have two cases with me today. Could you please state your full name?
Adrian Alonso Gallego, date of birth, October 2nd, 1982.
All right. Now, you are being charged with one count of resisting arrest with risk of physical injury as a Class 6 felony. And I am appointing counsel to represent you. Oh, and I did find that there is probable cause for this charge. As I stated, I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 12th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 14th at 8:30 a.m. Oh, let's see. Yes. Okay. Same. Do you know what I have? On this case, I was going to. You have, let me just see if you don't. Hold on. This is the page 2.
Excuse me.
Oh, no problem. It's just
No, take your
looks
time.
like I was. This is inconsistent to cases, to release conditions. So let me. Doesn't work out well. I'm going to have to edit number 1. And I have to change the, your dates are changing. Actually, I can just change this to $50.
Are you going to be sooner or later?
This can actually be earlier. Okay, so as I stated, did I sign it? Did I not sign it? There, okay. All right, so let me just start over again with, okay, we have your name, we have your date of birth, we've gone over the charge. So it's one count of resisting arrest as a Class 6 felony. I'm appointing counsel. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I'm actually going to be setting a secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $50 because you have a bond in your other case. I want to make sure that you are getting credit on this case. On your other case, You have the warrant for violating your probation, and I am appointing counsel. You have a probation revocation arraignment with a possible disposition hearing set on February the 4th at 8:30 a.m., and you have a secured appearance bond in that case for the amount of $500. I would not want you to be in on one case and out on the other one, because you would not be getting credit on one case. So the other one is just a very small amount of bond, and so therefore it will just be an amount of $550 for both cases. Okay?
So, how much will I have to, by now, when will I get out? Next week probably, or no?
It depends upon what happens on your case. I don't know, but you have counsel now that can help you. Okay?
And when would I see them?
You'll see them at court on February the 4th.
Okay. 4th or the 3rd?
So what?
The 4th or the 3rd?
4th.
So 4th and the
4th,
6th?
the 4th, which is Tuesday.
4th and 6th?
No, it's 4th and, okay, sorry, the probation revocation is on the 4th, but on the new case, you're right. It's the 3rd and the 6th. So actually, you will be seeing your attorney on the 3rd. So they can talk to you on the 3rd. So you have the 3rd, the 4th, and the 6th.
Okay.
Joe Brummett, please go to the podium. And Hope Kenny, please go to the chair. Well, we have a lot more. Okay, let's see. All right. Sir, you have 2 cases before me today. Let's go to the first one. Could you please state your full name?
Joe Littleton Brummett,
And your date of birth?
5/27/1977.
Thank you. And you have a justice court warrant out of Hacienda Justice Court.
It was because I didn't finish my community service.
Okay.
They gave me 80 hours. I think I got 67 done, and work just has been keeping me busy. So I haven't really had a chance to get it done.
Okay. Well, you have two warrants, and on this one, it is an arraignment. You have an arraignment set on January the 30th at 8:30 a.m., and it is a secured appearance bond in the amount of $300. And on your other case, it is the same. Let's go to that one, number 6 on the docket. And again, your full name, Joe Littleton Brummett, date of birth, the same, May 27th, 1977. Justice Court warrant set out of the same court, Hacienda Justice Court. It is for 1 count of driving on the suspended license as a misdemeanor. You have an arraignment hearing set on the same date, January the 30th at 8:30 a.m. And again, a secured appearance bond in the same amount, $300. So you would have 2, so you have, it was basically $600.
Okay.
Okay?
Is there any way that you could possibly work with me with like
I'm not changing their bond.
pretrial services?
No, because it's not Superior Court. We can't do pretrial services on justice courts.
Okay.
I think, in fact, you may have talked to them about it.
But I mean, it could cause me to lose my job.
Okay, in fact, I even talked to another commissioner, like, did we change things? Because I haven't been here for a little bit, because I'm a part-timer. And, because I think you might have talked to somebody, you might have talked them into it. Because it was actually, I think it was in fact in yours, where pretrial services, I think, wanted to do that. But we don't have the authority. We can't do pretrial services on justice court cases. So I'm sorry, it's just not possible. So I apologize, but this is the best we can do. So I'm affirming the prior court's orders, and so it's.
I mean, I've shown up to all of my court dates and all of that. I just don't understand why you guys can just let me go.
Okay, I'm not letting you go.
Right. Okay, I understand. I understand that.
I'm not letting you go, and I just have to keep going.
I just don't understand it. It's for not doing fucking community service.
It's called keep in contact with court. Hope Kenny, please go to the podium. Travis Scrivener, please go to the chair. Hello. Could you please state your full name?
Hope Christine Kenny.
And your date of birth?
September 14th, 1986.
And you have a municipal court warrant out of El Mirage City Court. And it is, you're being charged with 1 count of criminal trespassing in the 1st degree on a residential structure as a Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of criminal trespassing in the 3rd degree as a Class 3 misdemeanor. You will be appointed counsel at the next court hearing if you're still in custody. You have an arraignment hearing set on February the 4th at 8 a.m., and you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $150.
Is this the case for the one from September?
No.
Or November?
Hold on, let me see. Arraignment hearings, let me just, yes.
I was
September 19, 2024.
Right, you released me on with pretrial services, and I went to court for that. And I went to court for that, and they dropped the charges. They had me contact pretrial services, and they released me on that.
Okay, well, again, if I've talked to that gentleman, if I released on pretrial services and I was wrong, because like I just told him, you can't get pretrial services on city court cases or justice court cases because that's not our jurisdiction. So if I did that, then I was definitely in the wrong. And if they dismissed it, then they dismissed it, but if they dismissed it, they could have dismissed it without prejudice. But all I can tell you is that these charges are still in place, and so there's a warrant outstanding, and you have to go to that court to be able to resolve it. Okay? So, like I said, I cannot release you on pretrial services for a city court charge, for a city court case, or for a justice court case. And I'm just following the bond that's in place, which is $150.
Okay, so where's this court here at El Mirage?
This is an El Mirage Municipal Court. So yes, I don't have the actual address in front of me, so I don't know what it is. Okay? All right, so if you just go to the left, you'll get that paperwork. Travis Scrivener, please go to the podium.
So I just have to pay the $150 bond to get out today?
Yes.
Or?
Yes, if you pay that money, you can get released, and then you just have to make sure you go to court. You go to El Mirage Municipal Court.
If not, then
Then you'll stay in custody. They will either transport you to court, or they will see you remotely. They'll see you like through video.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, yes, please go to the podium. Thank you. All right, so could I please have your full name?
Travis Ray Scrivener,
Thank you. And your date of birth?
11/15/1988.
Thank you. And you have a municipal court case out of El Mirage Municipal Court. You have one count of criminal trespassing in the 3rd degree as a Class 3 misdemeanor. And you have an arraignment on February the 4th at 8 a.m. and it's a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. All right, if you just go to the left, you'll get your
There's no
paperwork.
way I can get OR? How come it's just like, it's not possible because I work and stuff and I really don't have the cash right now to get bonded out. And so if I don't get bonded out, I'm going to end up losing my job.
What's the issue about this?
So if that's real possible, if I can get an OR, that would be great.
Let me take a look at this one. I think
Thank
there
you,
was
Your
an
Honor.
issue.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so you do have a job?
Yes, ma'am. I work for not Young Brothers, but Phoenix Stores.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now that I review this again, it's just a Class 3 misdemeanor. It is misdemeanor, Mirage, okay. I think I looked at it really quickly. I will change this to OR.
Awesome. Thank you, ma'am.
The paperwork needs to be changed. Thanks. Did I just sign it? I think I signed it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you could move over to the side, I'll just get to the next person. Tyrell Tiller?
So I am getting OR, right?
Yes, he's got to get the new paperwork because I have to change the paperwork.
Okay, and I'll get my next court date and all that stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're not, say the next paperwork. Here, please, go back to the podium. Okay, so, I thought I did tell you that. Okay, so again, Municipal Court, El Mirage Municipal Court, one count of criminal trespassing in the Class 3 misdemeanor. I cannot appoint counsel to represent you. It's a different jurisdiction. You have an arraignment hearing because I now just changed the, your bond amount, it is going to be February the 18th at 8 a.m. at your city court, because it is a misdemeanor. I am releasing you on your promise to appear, so you need to make sure you do so. Otherwise,
Yes,
they're
ma'am.
making you look like an
I
idiot.
definitely will.
So make sure that you show up.
I will.
All right? Okay. So the paperwork's been changed, and they have it now. All right?
Thank you. My next.
Tyrell Taylor, please go to the podium. Michael Ramos, please go to the chair. Okay, thank you. Could you please state your full name?
Tyrell Taylor.
And your middle name is Key?
Yes.
And your date of birth?
4/11/2000.
All right, and you have a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointed the legal advocate's office to represent you. You have a probation revocation arraignment with possible disposition hearing set on February the 4th at 8:30 a.m. And just affirming the court's warrant, which is a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. Okay? You just go to the left, you'll get your paperwork. Michael Ramos, please go to the podium. Hello, could you please state your full name?
Say my name?
Yes.
Michael Anthony Ramos,
And your date of birth?
1/6/1963.
Thank you, and you have you are being charged with 1 count of possessing or using a dangerous drug as a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 6 felony, 1 count of criminal trespassing in a Class 3 misdemeanor. I do find that probable cause, that there is probable cause for these charges. I am going to...
Ma'am?
Yes.
I didn't quite hear all the charges.
Oh, okay, I'll read them again. You have,
Can I get closer or something?
do we...
Or do you have the paper I can see them?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, just stay there and we'll get you something. Do we have like what's here? Yeah, look at them. I was just wondering if I should wait, or if I should just talk louder. Because usually my sister says I'm just way too loud. She's like, stop talking in your courtroom voice. Oh, yes. Is that okay?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, then let's just start from the beginning.
Okay.
Your name is Michael Anthony Ramos, correct?
Sure.
And your date of birth is 1/6/1963?
Correct.
All right. Now, you are being charged with 1 count of possessing or using dangerous drug as a Class 4 felony.
Yeah, that was for,
No, do not talk to me about the charges, okay?
Okay,
Because whatever you say you have the right to remain silent.
okay.
You also have 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 6 felony,
Yes, ma'am.
and 1 count of criminal trespassing in the 3rd degree as a Class 3 misdemeanor. I am going to appoint counsel to represent you, and you have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. Okay, so that's the bond amount. If you just go to the left, you will get your paperwork.
Okay.
Could Jackery Horton Houston please go to the podium? And Jordan Lang, please go to the chair. Hello.
Hello,
Could you please state your full name?
Ja'Cory Horton Houston.
Yeah, I'm sorry for messing up your, yes, I did murder your name. All right, so, then your date of birth.
11/26/79.
All right, and you have a warrant out of Peoria Municipal Court. It is for 1 count of driving with a suspended license, it's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I cannot appoint counsel for you out of another court. Now, you have an arraignment set on January the 30th at 9 a.m., and it is a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $250.
Okay, is there any way that I can?
I'm not changing their bond.
Okay,
So if you want to just go to the left and just get that paperwork.
okay. Well, I was gonna ask, I had money put in my books earlier to post bond.
Oh, if they have it, then I'm
And
sure
then-
that can be worked out. Yes.
But then this is another $250. It says a $300 max that you can put on a day or something like that.
I do not know how that
Yeah.
works.
You have another 250. Bond, right?
Correct. Plus this one.
Right, so I have money put on my account. But is there a max amount of money you can put on your account?
You can put more.
Okay, on my books?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so sir, remember, you need to go to Peoria Municipal Court and make sure that you show up for court, okay? Can Jordan Lang please go to the podium, and Brandy Chia, please go to the chair. Can you please state your full name?
Jordan Christopher Lang,
And your date of birth?
4388.
Okay, and you are being charged with 1 count of possessing a weapon by prohibited person as a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing or using a dangerous drug as a Class 4 felony, 1 count of taking in prohibited articles into a jail as a Class 5 felony, 1 count of theft as a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of possessing or using drug as a Class 6 felony, 1 count of harassment by communication as a Class 1 misdemeanor. Oh, hold on. I did not find probable cause. Hold on, did I not? Okay, I need to edit this because I did not, I thought I had already put it in, but I did not find probable cause for the theft charge or for the taking in the jail prohibited articles. I did not see that in the Form 4, but I did find probable cause for all the other charges. So it doesn't mean that those charges are dismissed. It just means that if I had not found any probable cause for any of the charges, I'd have to release you without any release conditions. Okay, I know it's kind of confusing.
What was the theft for?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying, I don't know. So it doesn't make any sense to me, so that's why I'm putting down, I did not find any probable cause for those 2 charges. And so maybe there is something out there, because I don't have a police report. I just have like I just have like a little bit of some paragraphs. So I did find, from what I read, I found probable cause for the other charges, but I did not find I did not read anything about stolen property. So that's why I'm not finding probable cause for those charges, but there may be some sort of evidence I don't know about that there is. So what I have does not dismiss any of these, doesn't dismiss these charges, but I am appointing counsel that will be able to get more information, and maybe there isn't any information. There isn't. So maybe those charges will get dismissed later on, okay? But what I am doing right now doesn't dismiss anything, okay? So you will still have to fight those charges later on. So what you will dismiss, so you will of course fight all of the charges. Exactly, okay? But I just wanted to let you know that I am going to be doing that. Let me just save this and sign it, because that has to still changes the paperwork. Okay, so as I stated, I'm going to be appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. You will have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. So that's basically it. If you go to you're going to get your paperwork. They're having to be printed right now, but you'll be getting it. Okay? So just go to your left and you'll be getting it. Could Brandy Chia please go to the podium, and Jerry Sharp go to the chair. Hello, could you please state your full name?
Brandy Chia.
And your middle name is K?
K.
And your date of birth?
December 16, 1996.
All right, now you are being charged with 1 count of aggravated DUI as a Class 4 felony. I am going to be appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 12th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 14th at 8:30 a.m. I am going to be releasing you on your own recognizance, so on your own promise to appear for court. So make sure that you show up for court.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
and
you.
then, as I stated, I'm going to be appointing counsel to represent you. There will be information on your paperwork about how to be able to reach them, so you may want to do so ahead of time.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Jerry Sharp, please go to the podium. And Tyshawn Rice, please go to the chair. Thank you. Could you please state your full name?
Jerry Odell Sharp,
And your date of birth?
2/13/56.
All right, now you are being charged with 1 count of theft, controlling property of another as a Class 6 felony. I am going to be appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on February the 12th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 14th at 8:30 a.m. And I'm going to be releasing you on what's called pretrial services. So it's going to be a
Pardon me, I didn't hear you, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need if I just talk a little louder, can you?
Yeah, I can't hardly hear you, so.
Okay, can we maybe use the thing again? I have a feeling that it's more than just me speaking a little louder.
I know you said something about the court date and stuff, but after that.
No. I want to make absolutely sure you hear me. So we have like a device that'll help.
Okay.
No need to, it's not an issue.
Might need a new set of ears. Okay.
Okay, great. Let's, I want to just start off from the beginning then. Again, we had your name is Jerry Odell Sharp, correct?
Right.
Date of birth, 2/13/1956.
Yes.
You're being charged with 1 count of theft, controlling property of another as a Class 6 felony.
Yes.
I'm appointing counsel to represent you.
Yes.
You have a status conference set on February the 12th at 8:30 a.m. And you have a preliminary hearing set on February the 14th at 8:30 a.m. And that will be at Superior Court Phoenix at 175 West Madison Street.
Okay.
And you will be placed on pretrial services supervision. So you're being monitored by pretrial services. You will be getting an envelope that says how to contact them. And so do not lose that envelope.
Okay.
And you need to contact them so that they will monitor you.
Okay.
All right? That's essentially the information. So you'll just get your release conditions from them and just be sure to contact pretrial services.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And make sure you show up for court.
Pardon me?
Make sure you show up for court.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tyshawn Rice, please go to the podium.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Okay, now, could you please state your full name?
Tyshawn Rice.
And your middle
Tyshawn
name?
LaRon Rice.
Okay, and your date of birth?
5/5/2003.
All right, now you have a Justice Court case out of El Centro Justice Court. It is 1 count of assault as a Class 1 misdemeanor. Okay, hold on. Yes, as a Class 1 misdemeanor. I cannot appoint counsel to represent another jurisdiction. You have an arraignment hearing set on February the 13th at 8:30 a.m. I am going to be releasing you on your own recognizance. Okay? Now, I'm just putting down the fact that for you to not initiate contact with the alleged victim, it does seem like it was just like a very minor situation, but from what I read, but main thing is, do not initiate any sort of contact. It's basically, if she doesn't want any contact with you, do not have any contact with her, okay? And also, if there is any, it does not look to me like there was any sort of order of protection in place, but if there's any sort of order of protection, or if you get an order of protection, make sure that you follow it, okay?
I do have a couple questions.
I cannot give you any sort of legal advice.
No, okay. Very much.
So I can't give you any legal advice. Obviously, if you want legal advice, be sure to, you can always hire counsel. Or you can even just, hire somebody for just, like, even a short period of time to get some, answers, questions answered, okay? But that's not something that I can do.
I understand.
All right? The main thing is show up for court. All right? Wish you well.
Thank you.
Now, there are several cases that we have for house calls. Number 21, 24, 30, 33, and 31 are scheduled for house calls. Numbers 21, 24, 30, and 33 are all all at the jail that are unable to be brought into the court because of behavioral issues. And I will be going back there to do their initial appearance at their cell and so I will do them right now. At the moment, I will talk about number 31, Cody Alexander Tolsdorf. He is in the hospital. He is intubated. He will not be able to be seen. He is still unconscious. He was initially set for, when was he initially set for? I don't know. Okay. I believe he's going to be over 24 hours. We are making a ruling of an emergency situation. He's intubated, he's been unconscious. The doctors, we've been in contact with the doctors pretty much hourly. And they are planning on trying to awaken him to see if he can be seen on the 5 p.m. calendar. But we are making a ruling of an emergency exception regarding the 24-hour time. So going on to the other cases, number 21. Number 21 is Vincent Bertucci, date of birth December the 8th, 1965. One count of endangerment as a Class 6 felony, one count of disobeying or resisting an order or mandate of court as a Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of reckless driving as a Class 2 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for these charges. I am appointing the Public Defense Services, the OPSDS. There is a status conference post-warrant on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. and he is not being released as a violation of his probation pursuant to 7.2b. Number 24 on the docket is Mohammed T. Fuentes, date of birth 7/22/1979. And he is facing one count of aggravated domestic violence as a Class 5 felony, one count of disobeying or resisting an order by a mandate of court as a Class 1 misdemeanor, and one count of disorderly conduct as a Class 1 misdemeanor. I'm appointing counsel to represent him. He has a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set. Oh, this is the one. I talked to the wrong person about the wrong thing. Okay, the status conference is set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. This person has set a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. He has the victim. This is where I was doing it a different amount than what the prosecutor was setting. And I actually did just set the bond in the amount of $1,000 instead of what the prosecutor is wanting. Okay. Well, this is where the victim was admitted that she let him stay at her house to take care of the dogs while she was away. Well, that is kind of crazy. All right. Well, let's go to number 30. And this person has number 30 and 33 both. The name is Lilia Abigail Lukaczko, date of birth July 18, 1994, has a new case, one count of aggravated assault on a healthcare professional as a Class 6 felony, and one count of disorderly conduct fighting as a Class 1 misdemeanor. I'm appointing counsel to represent this person. They have a status conference set on February the 3rd at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on February the 6th at 8:30 a.m. They have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. And on the other case, it is number 33 on the docket, Lilia Abigail Lukaczko, date of birth July 18th, 1994. They have a warrant for violating their probation. Maricopa County Public Defender's Office, probation revocation arraignment with a possible disposition hearing set on February the 4th at 8:30 a.m. And they have secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $2,500. All right. Just to be on the safe side, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to read it out, but for the one that we are having the emergency, well, I know that we're not doing their initial appearance yet. So I wouldn't be reading, since we're doing the emergency, yeah, I wouldn't be reading it. Okay, so that is all I'm doing at the moment. If there are to be any changes regarding case number 21, 24, 30, or 33, I will come back on the record and do those. And we are adjourned. Finally.